Look at me filming 2 videos in one day. Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back. For today, well, tonight, because it is dark outside, I decided to do another little sit-down video. And tonight, I wanted to talk about my top books on my TBR for 2025. I have so many books that I want to read. Hello? I have so many books that I want to read this year. A lot of them that I have been putting off for a long time.
Don't worry. People see my face all the time. Goodbye now.
Little interruption from my brother. Anyway, as I was saying, I have been wanting to read these books for so long. A lot of these have been just like sitting and chilling on my bookshelf for the past like year and a half. And I decided this was going to be the year I'm going to get through all of these books. And I'm going to get through all of these books before I buy any more books, okay? So we're doing, it's like Project Pan, but book edition. Got several books to get through here, so we're going to get through them. But first, before we do that, let's do a little update on the book I'm reading right now. So currently, I'm reading Flock by Kate Stewart, and this book has been a whirlwind, and it has some like mystery aspects to it and some secrets that you don't find out the answer to until the end, and so I haven't found out the answer to them yet, but let me tell you, I'm hooked. I'm hooked. It took me a little bit to get into it, but I'm hooked, okay? I'm hooked. I want to know the secrets. I want to know what's going on, okay? There's some stuff going on. I just want to know, okay? It's not your typical cheesy romance, but I also wouldn't consider it like dark romance. But the smut in this book. This is a book to hide from your mom and your kids, okay? That's all I'm saying. About 100 pages left. So I think I'll be able to finish it tonight or tomorrow. Let's hope we can lock in and get this one done, and then I can do a thorough book review on shorts. But, okay, so now officially on to the TBR for this year. Don't mind my broken nail. We're just gonna ignore that, okay? We're gonna pretend like she doesn't exist. You will notice a trend with a lot of these books is that they're a lot of like fantasy, because I'm trying to get into fantasy, but I'm struggling, okay? I'm trying my best. I've read ACOTAR and I've read Fourth Wing. I've read like the YA fantasy stuff, but I'm trying to get more into fantasy, okay? But anywho, our first victim of the TBR is Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson. When I tell you I have owned this book for so long and I have not cracked it open and read it yet, and people talk about how freaking amazing it is, I think for me it's mostly the length of the book is kind of scary, and I know it's YA, so I don't know. I truly don't know why I haven't read this yet, but it is on my to-do list on my TBR from this year. I don't really know anything about it, so if you love this book, I know it is a beloved book on Book Talk. So a lot of these are beloved Book Talk books, but if you know anything about it, let me know. The next one, it's another fantasy book, and that is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I even have the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition that's like all pretty or whatever, and has like the cool pages, like look old and vintage. Again, this has been sitting on my shelf for so freaking long, and I don't know why I haven't read it yet, because everybody who reads it says it is so good. I have never seen anybody really say anything bad about this book, but for whatever reason, I just haven't been able to pick it up and read it. I think I read the first chapter a hot minute ago when I was trying to decide what book I wanted to read, and just realized that that wasn't the book I wanted to read right now. Like I said, I don't really know anything about this book. I don't think it's YA. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think it's YA. But everybody who has read it says it's amazing, and it's like life-changing. So this will actually probably be my next read. Okay, so I'm absolutely in love and obsessed with Fourth Wing, and this book was a very top recommendation for people who loved Fourth Wing. And I did try to read it, but at the time I tried to read it, I was kind of in a slump, so I didn't read it. But it's One Dark Window by Rachel Gilling. This is like a dark academia book. Like I said, I really don't know much about it. I think I got like a fourth of the way through before I decided to I think I got closer to that. Because now that I'm flipping through the pages, I'm starting to remember more. Anywho, I did not finish this book. I DNF'd it. I know that for a fact, but it wasn't because I wasn't enjoying it. It was simply because it just wasn't what I was in the mood to read at the time. So this book is definitely on my TBR for this year. Everybody raves about it and says how freaking amazing it is. So I really want to get it out of the way. And I know there's 2 of them. There's a sequel. It's a series. Anyway, I don't know much about this book, but okay, next is 2, because it's a duology or a series or whatever, so I have 2 of them, and that is the City of Brass and the Kingdom of Copper duology. Is that even the right word? Y'all, I've been on Book Talk and been a big reader for years, and I don't even know the words. Anyway, City of Brass and Kingdom of Copper. These books were very highly recommended to me by my godbrother. I've never really seen anybody talk about them on Book Talk, but I do know a couple people who have read them and said they are so good, and they're very, very highly rated on Goodreads, which is surprising that I've never really seen anything about these books, but I've heard it is so good. My godbrother said if I liked ACOTAR, I would love this. He said it's a little bit more of an advanced world building read, so that might be interesting for me as a new to fantasy girly, but I am excited to read both of these. These have both been sitting on my shelf for like well over a year now, and I have yet to read them. So we're gonna read them this year. It's going to happen. I'm gonna read them. Both of these books, they're written by the same author. You're gonna know who exactly what I'm talking about. And the first one I DNF'd, and I really want to read it because people talk about how amazing it is, and that is Caravel by Stephanie Garber. I'm not much of a third person reader. Okay, I cannot do third person writing. Threw me off, but I'm trying. Okay, I can't remember. I think the reason why I DNF'd this book the first time was just I could not get into it. So I'm gonna try again this year. It's been about a year since I tried to read this book, so I'm gonna try again, and hopefully I'll love it. We'll read the whole thing. Yay! Because I want to be a fantasy girly so bad. I want to be a fantasy girly so bad. So this year, that is my 2025 resolution. Dear Lord, English is not working out for me tonight. My 2025 New Year's resolution is to become a fantasy girly. Right along with that is Once Upon a Broken Heart. I know they're in the same universe. I think they're in the same universe. I'm pretty sure that's what people have said to me before. I'm not 100% sure. But this is another book series that is highly raved and talked about. I haven't even tried to read this one because I didn't really enjoy Caravel. So maybe I'll try to read this one first and then read Caravel. Or is it Caravel or Caraval? Or Caraval? I've heard it pronounced. Anyway, maybe I'll try to read this one first and then pick up Caraval and read it. But we have Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. But I have heard that Stephanie Garber's writing is really good for new fantasy readers because the world building is nice and easy. So this next book I actually just recently bought. So this one has not been sitting on my shelf for a long time, but it does intimidate the living crap out of me. I got it at a used bookstore. And anyway, it's A Little Life. This is another one that is very highly talked about on TikTok. And I think what scares me the most is how thick it is. Every single person I see read this book literally cries, and I think that's another reason why, is because it's sad. But it's very daunting with how long it is. So that's a little scary. It's like 600 pages. Oh my god. It's actually 800 pages. Holy crap. This one's gonna take me a while to get through, so I should probably pick it up sooner than later. I didn't realize it was that long. We'll see. I know it's really good, and I'm sure it's an amazing read, but 800 pages scares me, okay? I've heard this one talked about a couple times on Book Talk. Not like raved about, but talked about, and everybody that I've heard talked about it really liked it. And that is A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair. First of all, the cover is absolutely stunning. But I tried reading this, and I think I got like not even a fourth of the way through, and I just didn't like the writing. But like I said, we're trying to look past third person. And anyway, so I have A Touch of Darkness. I know it's like Hades and Persephone. Yeah, it's like a spin-off of like Greek gods or something. I don't know what I'm talking about, y'all. It's late. Anywho, the last two on my TBR have been on my TBR. I read the first book in the series and loved it, and I honestly don't know why I haven't picked the rest of them up. These are like old book talk books, okay? These trended like years ago, and I still have yet to read them. I read the first one, but that is the final 2 books in the Dreamland Billionaire series. I don't know why I haven't read them, other than the fact like I just haven't read them. Honestly, I probably need to reread the first one before I reread the other 2, even though I know they're like, it's not really a, I don't know. But we have terms and conditions and final offer. I did read the fine print. I really liked the fine print, so I don't know why I haven't read these yet. I just need to read them. Although final offer is chunky. She's chunky. And like I said, that scares me. Chunk 600 pages. So she's a little scary. I know this one's at least 400. Yeah. They're both a little chunky for a romance book, but you know, if I like it and it's not ridiculous, it'll be okay. But yeah, both of these I need to read. They're on my TBR for this year. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this fun little video. Late night filming sesh. It's really cold. That's the little setup we got there. If you have any other suggestions of books I should add to my TBR for this year, please drop them down below. And without further ado, good night, y'all.